Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again with the follow-up video for Angry Crack Fisting Zerker that uses Tectonic Slam and Hollow Palm Technique, which is entirely based around no weapon, no other weapon, and no gloves. You then stack Dexterity, use whatever skill you want. In this case, we went with one of the two fire options, Tectonic Slam. You could pretty much one for one put in Infernal Blow if you'd rather, try that out, or rework just a little bit of Tree, mostly the Cluster Jewels, and do pretty much any other skill as well. So Tectonic Slam itself has actually worked out quite nicely. With the very large sustain in Endurance charge, thanks to the Enduring Cry warcry and the way we've built our character through very fast warcry uptime means that we can get a lot of charged slams out there. I'm also weaving in Rallying Cry every 10 to 20 seconds to try and get a bit of extra damage and also some mana sustain at the same time. Now you notice at this point I don't have a life flask because the huge amount of sustain that comes from the regen from Enduring Cry as well as the instant heal means that my life flask is basically useless, and it almost doesn't ever do anything if I can warcry instead. It's acting as almost the exact same thing. So up until this point, I was playing with a life flask, but it was a very bad one, and it wasn't even an instant life flask. And I thought I might be able to drop it, and only when I realized I was running the really bad one, that I noticed I didn't actually use a life flask at all, basically. If it was such a bad one, it may as well have not existed, so I chucked in an extra utility flask, and in this case it was a basalt, just for extra damage reduction, though I think you could go something like a phasing as well, because that could be pretty convenient just to be able to run through mobs of enemies and position yourself a bit nicer, since Hollow Palm Technique is one of the only things out there that isn't allowed to use any real travel skill. The only thing you've got is dash, and it is a little uncomfortable from time to time. The other thing I did was remove the movement speed on my Quicksilver just so I could put immune to freeze there. In the higher tier content, there are plenty of things that freeze you from time to time, and it is fairly annoying. Even though I was immune to chill, being not immune to freeze kinda sucks. We did take on a few Simulacrum 20 waves. This will be just a small example of one of the bosses on like a 15 or a 16, and for the most part it's all pretty good. You can get kind of unlucky on certain mods, and I did in the end on a wave 20 Kosis with several projectiles, lots of damage, and for me with minus 60 chaos res on this character, it's pretty damn hard to build chaos res, so any mod that does additional chaos damage ends up giving you some serious trouble. I did kill him, but it took a few attempts or a few deaths, and it wasn't pretty, and there's not really much to show there. But most things just get a 1-for-1 face tanking. For example, Chimera here does absolutely nothing, can just even kill it with Enfeeble up the entire time and tank everything that they throw at you. But with the occasional wave 20 or some real bad map mods, you can definitely still die, and it can definitely still be a bit rough. I did explore the avenue of some beefed up maps, as you can see on this one, and it gets messy. It just keeps on coming, and the fact that you can't really freeze anything on this one, and you're not instantly blowing things up, means you might get overwhelmed, mostly by Double Beyond comboed with Harbingers, and then all the Sextant mods and everything. So just this little next pack I run into is a decent example of how things just keep getting from bad to worse, and you can usually take care of it. And I don't think I really died in any of my beefed up deliriumed maps at the high tier, but it got awfully close and was pretty uncomfortable at many times. Actually, I think I did die on a couple of them. Anyway, it's gonna happen. Since I think these are truly only really made for the overpowered characters, potentially the Archmages, the Stormbrands, your Herald stacking stuff. Maybe we'll find an overpowered character that's not too niche, but this one is a strong character. I'd probably not be calling it overpowered though. You can see that my single target is pretty good against a lot of these Conquerors, and these are even a high tier, fully deliriumed one that just happened to be still deliriumed when I got there, and the DPS is certainly respectable. And I'm also going to leave you with an Awaken in 8 Sirus, and someone redeemed an option in my channel points to fight him zoomed in. Takes a lot of channel points, and the idea is that it's just supposed to make it a lot more difficult on me. It's my second Awakener 8 for the league, and I'm fairly in tune with the fight. It doesn't mean that I'm immune to what's going on, given that he's very difficult to play around against when you can't see much. Either way, here's the fight, that's the character. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Thanks for the 2 months.
What's this? A real challenge. You've finally caught my attention. Die.
Oh god, he's still alive? Fuck.
The others found
Okay,
strength
good.
in their projections. They became reliant on me. I am not so foolish.
Okay, so far so good. It's gonna be the last phase that's a real bitch. I'm trying to keep him somewhat on the screen right now, because otherwise I got no idea where I'd go to pop him. That was unfair, man. He went for a fucking rain of stars into an obliteration. I didn't know where to go. It's close. Doing well, but fuck, the zone back in is the worst part.
Fury of the cosmos.
Life really interesting enough.
Actually wanted a pat on the head to fucking call the fact that I was gonna die on this. Give me a fucking break, dude. But you can't even see that shit. I'm gonna zoom out? Nah. Trying to appreciate the guy's microtransactions. Gotta be zoomed in for that. Alright. He's thick. Where is he? Okay. Whew. Fucking heart is going off, dude. I mean, the character's good for him because I can get a lot of sustain, I can get a lot of fucking deeps, I can get a lot of zerking.
Sirus, this was all my fault.
But Jesus Christ, was that stressful.
I'm so sorry.
And yeah, I died to bullshit. It was so stupid. Getting comboed like that in the corner. Gonna awaken her up, that's pretty cool, I guess. I was very hungover yesterday. Right now, I'm fine. I'm gonna say 1 vol, as in bricks on the first one. I was wrong. I was wrong again. I'm still wrong. I'm right.